Hi everyone, Wendy here with Sew It Online. Today we're going to make this adorable shabby chic pillow, and it's all done on the serger except for one little minor part that's done on your sewing machine. You don't need very many supplies to make this adorable pillow. You just need 2 fabrics, and you're going to cut them as follows. You need 2 12 by 12 pieces, 1 8 by 14, and 2 4 by 14, and that's out of fabric A, and that's going to be the majority of the pillow. And then for fabric B, you just need 2 of them cut at 3 by 22. You may want to give them a quick press to make sure that they're nice and crisp for you. You're also going to want some Wonder Clips. I always use Wonder Clips when I use a serger. It's so easy to go over pins when you're using a serger because the serger goes so fast and you just forget that they're there. The Wonder Clips are just like, hey, look at me, I'm here. So you can't miss them. You're also going to want a rotary cutter and a ruler, your iron, and a ironing board or your ironing pad. So today, like I said, we're going to do this all on the serger, except for 1 mil part. You do need to have a cover hem and a overlock serger for what we're going to do. The pin tucks are done with the cover hem portion of the serger. You can do this on any serger, but today I am going to use the Baby Lock Evolution with the extraordinary threading. So it's really cool. I love this machine. I can't live without it, really. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the pin tucks. So that is this portion right here. And we need to set the machine up for cover hem. And if you refer to your threading guide, that will help you get all set up. I do use my serger a lot, but I will tell you, I do refer to this quite a bit because there are some stitches on this machine that I don't do a lot of, so I do refer to that. If you need a smaller version, Baby Lock also has these online. You can print them off, and then that way you can stick them in a notebook. They're a little easier to carry. Also, they have here the inspiration guide, which walks you through more advanced machine setups, such as the pin tuck has some more detailed instruction of how to set up for a pin tuck. The first thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to set up for a cover hem. We're going to attach our table, make sure that that blade is locked, and we're going to pop on this pin tuck foot. If you notice right here, your pin tuck foot also comes with a blade, and this is going to help give more definition to the pin tucks. They're going to stand out a lot more. I love the pin tucks on the serger because they're more defined than the sewing machine. So what you want to do is I'm going to put these pieces aside, and we're going to pin tuck our 8 by 14 piece, and I'm just going to give it a nice crease down the center. I'm going to fold it. Don't want a super defined crease, we just want to know where it's at. So I can see the crease, and this is where we're going to take our first pin tuck. I'm going to take it over to the machine. Now, when you take your first stitch with the chain, with the cover hem, sorry, you want to make sure that you're stitching into fabric. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and stitch. Couldn't find my scissors. Okay, so there is our first pin tuck. See how defined that is? All that did was just, you know, that blade helps. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to stitch 5 more on the left and 5 more on the right. I'm going to line my foot up with the last one. So easy spacing there. And then I'm just going to keep stitching until I have all my pin tucks in. Okay, now that I have all my pin tucks in, it is going to look like that. Nice and defined pin tucks. I love these pin tucks. I'm going to give it a quick press, and I'm going to move this out of my way. We all saw that, right? Love that inspiration guide too. It's well worth the money. I don't want to press too hard on my pin tucks. I don't want to flatten them, but these are so well defined that it's going to take a lot to flatten them. Okay, now I'm going to set my machine up to just the 4-thread overlock, and we're going to do some puffing strips, and then we're also going to stay on the 4-thread overlock to construct everything. So while I switch this over, I do want to tell you that your 12 by 12 pieces, this is the small part that I did on my regular Baby Lock sewing machine. I just folded over my edges on one of the sides, 1/4 inch, and then folded it over 1/4 inch, and then top stitched, just like I did here. These 2 pieces are for your back, so we want to make sure when we do the overlap that this seam is finished. So next we're going to do those pin tucks, those puffing strips. Okay, so I'm almost finished setting up with my overlock, my 4-thread overlock. It doesn't take that much time. I do want to show you, however, how the Evolution loopers are threaded. It's with extraordinary error, so they're automatically threaded for you, which is so nice. We don't have to be a contortionist to get inside to get to our loopers. So we can just, I have it through my tension discs, and now I just leave a little lag, and I'm going to put it into those little holes. And you can do one at a time, or you can do them both at the same time. And you'll notice that I do have my needles already threaded. With this machine, you don't have to go in any particular order. So now I'm ready to go. So I need to turn to threading and turn my hand wheel towards me. And my channel's locked. And now all I have to do is just thread, and there you go. And they come right up to the top. So I'm just going to pull them to the back, and now we're ready to go make some puffing strips. Okay, now we're going to make our puffing strips, and a puffing strip is just a strip of fabric that is gathered on both sides. So I did make some adjustments. I do have my stitch length at a 4, and I did change my differential feed all the way up to a 2. That's going to help us get a gather. This is just a standard foot, and it's a 4-thread overlock, and I'm just going to get it started. And then if you hold it in the back a little bit, it helps give a little bit nicer gather. So once I have one side, I'm just going to take it over and do the same on the other side. Okay, and there is our puffing strip. I just like to give it a little bit of adjustment just to make sure our gathers are even on both sides. There's our nice puffing strip, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the second one. And when we come back, we're going to put it all together. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble this. So we have our puffing strips, we also have our center panel, and we have our back pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and put the 2 back pieces to the side for a moment, and I'm going to take my puffing strips and we are going to line them up to my center panel. And I'm just going to get some wonder clips. Like I told you, these wonder clips are awesome. You cannot miss them when you're serging. And I'm going to change my stitch length so that we're not gathering anymore. And I'm going to take my differential feed back down to N, which is neutral. And now we're just going to serge them together. This is a little long. I'm not going to worry about that. We'll get the other one on and then we'll clean it up. I got a handful of clips. Okay, so we have that stitched together, and now I'm going to do it the same on the other side. I love this pillow. It's so girly. I love girly things. I love being a girl. Okay, one more and we'll stitch this on. Okay, so now we have our sections together here. I'm going to go ahead and take my rotary cutter and my ruler, and I'm just going to clean this up so that they're nice and even. Actually, no, I'm not. I think I'm going to sew on my sides first. That way I can clean them all up at the same time. And we're using the same stitch length and everything to sew our side panels on. You know what, I'm going to cut that off. Just going to, so I don't have to take it through the serger. Do the same for the other side. Here's our top. And now I am going to true these off. Square them up, true them up, whatever you guys call it. I call it truing it. Hope you have a better blade than I do. Okay, so now that we have this all squared up, we're going to take our backs that we stitched up earlier. I'm going to line these up. I guess I have to trim this down a little bit more. And that's okay. Just going to line it up and we'll trim this out. We want this one to overlap. This is going to be our opening. So we have a nice overlap so that when you have your pillow form in there, it's not going to gap. And now we're just going to serge all the way around. If it's not perfectly even, that's okay. Our blade will take care of that. Turn it out. And there you have it. It's all done. Okay, so after you finish turning it out, you now have a nice pillow cover. Super nice, easy to do. It was quick and easy. So I want to thank you for stopping by and watching, and don't forget to subscribe.